Hello there, welcome to We Are Crafted in His Image. Today I am going to put together number 4, the 4th project in our Coco and Crafts for this month, and it is using the Flowing Flowers stamp set. And we're going to make a little notepad. We're just going to cover the front part of it and just decorate it up so it looks a little bit nicer than your standard notepad. So yeah, let's get started with that. In your kit, you have one of these little easy little notepads you get at the dollar. I think I picked mine up at the Dollar General. There is a packet with some of our gold foil in it, along with some glue dots. There's a couple, actually I think you have one big piece of paper. I had a couple small ones. These are just scraps. And some blue, this, and I think that's all of our pieces. So I'm actually just going to move these here. We don't have a ton of stamping to do, but let's go ahead and get that done. We're going to start by stamping the leaves of this stamp right here, the flower with the leaves. So we just need a couple sets of those leaves. I'm going to pull in my scrap paper. Let's move all my inks out of the way. And we need the soft succulent color. And like I said, we just need the leaves, so I'm just going to ink up that corner, stamp it down, ink again, and stamp it in another spot. And then you're going to need your paper snips to cut that out, which I did already. And you just need a little bit of the leaves there. So now I'm going to put this one away. And the next thing we're going to do, I can put that away because we already cut it out, is we want to stamp the big flower. And excuse me, we are going to use, that's this one here, the flower that doesn't have the leaves on it. We're going to use our sponge dauber again like we did last time. Now in last week's, or the last project we did, we stamped the flower with the yellow on the outside and a little bit of the rich raspberry in the middle, and we're going to do it the opposite today just to see how it looks so you can see the difference. So ink up again with your lighter color, which is the So Saffron. Get that nice and inked up. And then with the rich raspberry, you want to get your sponge dauber out, a little bit of ink on there, and then depending on how dark you want it to be on the edge, you could get some of the ink off first before you do this step, or just go right into it. And I'm just daubing all around the outside edge of the flower. And if you have our blending brushes, you could do the same simply by getting some color on here and blending in with it. But I'm going to use a sponge dauber because that's what came in your kits. There we go. And then just to make sure that those edges are soft, I'm going to come in with my yellow sponge dauber and just tap around the edge of where that burgundy is. And you probably can't see that on the screen, but I can see the darker color on the edge. So I'm just kind of blending it, making sure it's soft. And then I'm going to stamp onto the scrap paper. And there you go. So I have actually already done that and cut it out. Excuse me. So I actually cut out 2 because I want to show you 2 different ways of doing this next step. I wanted to put something in the center of the flowers, and because this is going to be a notepad, I did not necessarily want to use gems, because if you decide you want to put this in your purse, the gems will just pop off. Going in and out of your purse, in and out of a bag, they're going to get popped off. So I wanted something that would stay on pretty easily, and so I opted for our gold flakes. And there are several ways to put these on. You can use our heat emboss powder, or you can use anything sticky. So on this one here, I have already used a little bit of our multi-purpose glue, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I have just daubed it on in several areas, just little dots, and this glue stays tacky when it is dry. It will not ever get like completely non-tacky. So I'm going to use that one, but then if you do not have this glue in your kit, I included some glue dots. And they work. They're not quite as nice. I like the smaller effect of the glue instead, but so that you could use it, I do have the glue dots in here. So let me get those out. So I'm going to do glue dots on this one and the glue on this one here. Where's my tool? So to use the glue dots, you're just going to peel off the backing. Get my little cup over here. Peel back one of the dots. Whoops, come on, I want it to stay round. That one didn't work. Let's try this again, flat. There we go. So I'll set one glue dot right there. You can also use our tear and tape. You can use, I mean, there's a lot of, anything that's sticky will work. I'll put a glue dot there. And a glue dot here. Lay those down. All right, and we don't need, actually we do, I will keep that on there. So then to apply the gold flakes, I prefer to use a brush, a paint brush. And I like one that's got pretty stiff bristles. So you're gonna just pick up your gold flakes and set it on there, and then just kind of brush it around and get it to stick to whatever you're using that's sticky, whether it be the glue dots or the glue or tear and tape or whatever, and you just brush off the excess. Now see all this excess I have here, I'm gonna move over to this other one because it can still be used, so it's not wasted. And then I will brush these onto, I'll go ahead and grab my other one out of here. And you just brush it on and then use the bristles of the brush to push off the excess that's not stuck to your glue. And there you go. And then I'm going to brush this back into my bag so it can be used again. There we go. So you can see the difference. I've still got a little center on this, but then I really like the look of the little glue dots better. Looks more like stamens on my flower. So, excuse me. Now, let's go ahead and assemble our notepad. Now, there is a little bit of a trick to this. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take my blue, this is Night of Navy, and it's cut, might be just a little bit longer. No, it's the same size, a little bit smaller than the cover. And what I'm going to do is take this and kind of mark with a pencil, if I can find a pencil. There we go. I'm going to mark where each one of these holes are. I'm just going to put a little mark there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What an odd number. And then I'm going to use my paper snips. And you could actually, if you have a small hole punch, you could punch a hole for each of those. But I'm not going to get one out. I'm just going to use my scissors. And I'm just cutting a slit where I made each of those marks. Okay. There we go. So that's that. And you can go right now and push it down in there, but we still need to put adhesive on. So, but I'm just making sure, yep, they're all gonna go down in there. Okay, make sure that fits. Now the easiest way to get this to go on the way you want it is take some of our either Stampin' Seal Plus or tear and tape, either one. And I'm going to put some adhesive right across. There it is, there it is. Wait, this is Stampin' Seal, not Plus. I want Plus. There we go. Right across those slits that I just did. And then make sure you get it on the edge. Like that. all the way around the edge. The middle, I'll put some in the middle just in case, but you definitely want to get the edges covered. Okay, and then what I like to do is actually line up the bottom, the sides, make sure that's lined up because this stuff is really sticky. Put it down and then use your pokey tool and poke between those wires. There we go. And then you can even come in on this side, make sure it's laid down nice and flat. Let me see if I can get in here. There we go. Alright, and now your cover is on. Easy peasy. And let's finish decorating. We're going to start with this. Put it on here. Now, again, if this is something you're planning on putting in your purse and you want to, you know, or in a bag that you're going to be taking in and out, you want to make sure all of the edges are well adhered down so that they don't get caught and get lifted up. I'm not going to use mine that way. Mine is simply going to go probably at my desk. So I am going to opt for just regular adhesive, or you could use Stampin' Seal Plus to make sure it stays on really well. And I'm just going to put some in the middle of this one here. I'm not super concerned about the edges. But again, if it is going to go in your purse, I would definitely make sure those edges are glued down. Alright, I'm just going to stick this on. I am doing it slightly up because what I did forget was we need to stamp a little just a note to go down here on the bottom. So let me get out my Rich Razzleberry. Ooh, I threw one of my leaves over there. And just a note, and I'm pretty sure this one is pretty straight. Oh, yes, awesome. Close that or I will ink myself. And give that just a second to dry. While that's drying, I think I'm going to use liquid glue for my flower because I like liquid glue. Gives me that mobility of moving my leaves around. So I can decide where I want my leaves to go, and I'm going to use this one on here. You can decide where you want your leaves. Well, I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to put some liquid glue really all over this center area here. Stick my flower on. Move the leaves to where I want them. And again, if you are going to put this in a bag, make sure your leaves aren't hanging out and make sure they're glued completely down flat. Otherwise, they're going to pop off. But this one's not, so I can just glue the centers. And then some Stampin' Seal on my little word rectangle, the bottom here. And there we go. I have a finished notepad. Here's one I did using the glue dots, and there's one using dots of glue. And there you have it. That is our last project for this month. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed your cup of hot chocolate that came with your kit. And until next time, God's love and blessings. Bye.